Hello and welcome to the Fat Boss Guide to the Stone Guard's 25-man heroic in the Mogu'Shan Vault.
Hello.
Yes, this fight is a really nice, easy way to start the heroics, really. And there's painting involved, and everyone loves painting.
So this encounter is more or less the same as normal, so if you haven't already seen our normal video, then please click on the annotation, because we're not really going to talk about the normal mode and the mechanics, because, yeah, it is very, very similar to normal mode.
Now for this fight you want 3 tanks, 5 to 6 healers and a mixture of DPS, but if you can bring 2 hunters in your team as well, that is really, really important. It's really, really good, so we'll talk about that in a little while.
Now only 2 things have really changed in this fight, apart from the bosses obviously doing more damage, and there's a lot more damage needed to actually kill them. The abilities like petrification, overload, all that kind of shit, it remains the same.
Exactly
it works exactly the same way, so still keep doing the tank taunts the way you was on normal mode.
Now the first thing that you will notice is the 4 crystals where the bosses spawn. Now these 4 crystals do absolutely fuck all, but when you click on them you get a 10 stack debuff. Now this debuff will tick for about 9k per second. Now the stack starts dropping as you run over and paint the white floor tiles. Now when you have the debuff and you run across a non-glowing white floor tile, it will light up and it will start glowing and you will lose 1 stack. Now the important thing here is that each white floor tile that you have painted and is glowing will give the raider 1% damage and 1% spirit increase. Now this is really the key to killing this fight, because the bosses are doing so much more damage, so the healers have to heal quite a lot, and there is quite a tight DPS requirement as well, so you just need to paint as much as you fucking can, really.
Yeah, and this is where the 2 hunters sort of become useful. I mean, other classes can do this. Elemental shamans, for example, would be reasonably good at this. But essentially you want classes that can do damage on the move to click on the crystals, because they'll be spending a lot of time running around, because you can only light up 10 tiles because you only have 10 stacks. So you need to keep going back, clicking the crystal, keep going, and you want to like make this stack go as high as possible. There is no, like, you should make it ridiculously high, as high as you possibly can. And obviously the reason why hunters are so decent at this is because obviously they have things like disengage and stuff like that. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you light the floor tiles that are near the crystals first, and then start working away from it. And obviously your healers need to keep in mind that the people who are doing the crystals are taking damage. You need to keep an eye on those crystal users.
Also, what's very important is that you are on opposite sides as well. You can't have the 2 hunters on one side, so you've got to make sure that you click on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side and paint accordingly. Now, unfortunately, you just can't keep on painting, and then by the end of the fight, you have a million trillion stacks, because the other new ability the bosses does is power down. Now, at 75% HP and 40% HP, one of the bosses will cast this, and this will power down all the glowing painted energy tiles in the room, so it will get rid of all your stacks, and you can't counter this, you just have to start painting again. There's nothing you can do, so you just repeat it from that point. The problem with having people painting is, of course, that they are out of the group, so the mechanics of the boss can get really quite annoying, especially Jasper chains.
Yeah, so if you get chained when you're running and the other person's all the way on the other side of the room, or if you get the 2 people who are doing the running, both of the hunters, for example, if you are using hunters, both get the chain, then yeah, you do get complications. But you literally, even if you're a melee and you get chained with someone who's using the crystal, unfortunately with this tactic you have to run with the people who are doing the crystals. Yeah. The crystals do take priority. They're so important. I mean, they're mainly there for the healers, because the healers literally have to spam their tits off in this encounter. So
now, as soon as Jasper petrification comes up, then you just split the chains then, so it's simple as that. But because of course the hunters are taking extra damage as well, you can't try and break the chains without the petrification going on at the time.
And also what you need to keep in mind where you're positioning, generally you want to be off the tiles, because if you get like cobalt mines spawning on the tiles and stuff and you've just had a power down, it's going to make it difficult to actually start doing the tiles unless cobalt is obviously up and the cobalt petrification. But even then, it's still a ball ache, because that requires dispels and everything like that. But it still remains that you can run into them with bubble and stuff like that. But generally, try and stay in the centre of the room.
Yeah, exactly. So what we did actually have our tank the 2 mobs in the centre, quite close to the crystals, and where they'll be painted. So the hunters, of course, would always be in range. And then the other 2 are just fucked off somewhere else. So as you can see on the screen now, they're just away and out of the group.
So to wrap it up, this encounter as a whole, you just need to make sure that you just light up the tiles as quick as you possibly can, mainly on the power down, 75 and 40%, because it's not so much a problem at the start, because you've only just started the encounter. There's none of the abilities in place, such as the mines and the pools and all that random shit. So you need to make sure that that you do it on the power downs, because your healers will start struggling with mana if you are really slow with the tiles. And apart from that, it's just avoiding the standard shit from normal mode.
Yeah,
so.
it's practically normal mode, but with added painting. So thanks for watching, guys. If this guide did help you out, then please do give us a thumbs up. It helps us out quite substantially. And make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe.
And if you'd like to see other 25-man heroic guides by FATBOSS, please do click up on the annotations you see on your screen now.
Thank you for watching.